Well, good morning. I'm scattered all over this morning and not knowing what topic to talk about even. And so I'll probably actually bring up more than one topic in this brief conversation that I'm having with you all. The title that I've selected finally is Look Around. What are we supposed to do? Yesterday I listened to Max Igan's latest weekly message. I like Max, even though he has put down movements in which I have personally been involved. He said what others have said, that we need to build strong communities and not rely on external saviors. To me, of course, the idea that there is separation between internal and external is an incomplete perception. All ideas of separation for any reason are incomplete when seen from the perspective of the unity of all life. Even looking for viable communities seems to be an exercise in futility. It seems to me an exercise, but I'm going to put just to be. Certainly there are no worldwide communities built solely on spiritual ideals, since religious dogma and political ideology inevitably undermine them. Well, this morning's meditation presented another way to look at community building, uniting through music and art. Are there clues there that might indicate what we are supposed to do to bring real change to our world? Ron, where do you go from there? Let me say that over the past 5 nights, from Wednesday to Sunday, I have listened to several bands. First, on Wednesday, I listened to Armand and Angelina at Unity of Space Coast Unity in Titusville. Friday night, I went to the Kilted Mermaid in Vero Beach and heard my son's band, the revived Brevard Busking Coalition. Saturday, I went to see my friends that play and weep from the Pod, the New Way Pod, followed by another concert on the same night with my friend from New Orleans, the amazing Sybil Gage. And last night I went to Lou's Blues to support Sybil Gage, who was one of 3 performances in the Brevard Live original music series. And the first band, my son's friend, who also plays with Honey Miller, was in that band, 3-piece band that's just totally noise and rock. Not my style, actually, although they're nice people. It's just not my style of music. And then, of course, I heard Sybil, and the crowd really enjoyed her. She's unique of the original artists in Brevard. I don't know that there's any group quite like Sybil Gage's group. She's backed up by 6 amazing musicians. And then I heard another band called I don't really honestly remember the name, the Lights Out Project or something like that. And there's 7 guys in that band: a trumpet, saxophone, amazing drum player Alex Petrosky, who's a very good friend of my son's. And I really, and Chuck Van Riper, of course, was on the horn or the trumpet. But I really don't know the other guys. They have a keyboard, bass player, lead guitar, and then the lead singer, who was also the songwriter in the group. He played the ukulele and the guitar, and Chuck Van Riper also played the guitar on a couple of songs. But in any case, their lyrics were amazing. Their music was tight. It was they blew me away. I think they're as good as the Brevard Busking Coalition in the music that they play. I don't think they have as big a variety of sound as the Brevard Busking Coalition, but their words are inspirational. Their music, as I said, is really good. And my son came over and talked with me a little bit about, Dad, you know, a lot of people, you put down a lot of people because of their religious beliefs, because you don't believe the same as them, but yet you continually quote the Bible and put religion into a lot of your messages. If you're going to knock what people believe, why are you putting beliefs into it? And he also talked to me in the same conversation about music and how important that message is. And when I saw this morning as I was meditating, I saw, wow, I've been looking for a spiritual community that will support the idea that we are responsible to change the world. Maybe it's music, because music just moves the soul and moves the body and moves people. People are inspired and motivated through music. Is that true? Well, to some degree it seems to be true. And of course, art includes more than just music. It includes poetry, it includes writing, it includes storytelling, it includes paintings and sculptures and all sorts of things. The creative spirit in man. That's what it's going to take to change the world. I don't know that we can build communities, because it's hard to get 10 people in a group that can agree. And when you get bigger than that, it's impossible to get agreement, to get consensus even, is sometimes extremely hard. I saw that in Rus, I saw it in Swiss Indo. Even the dragon family is unable to get consensus, even within the only Chinese branch of the family. There's dissension, there's disagreement, there's not unanimity of purpose even. There's not even a common goal in mind. The most common goal in the whole world seems to be held by the people that want to push a new world order of domination and control on the rest of the planet. And there's an awful lot of people that don't want that. And I saw that in that last band that played last night. Their music was very revolutionary. Their lyrics were revolutionary. And we can use revolutionary sound and revolutionary lyrics and message. We need that. One of the other things that I was meditating on this morning was, who's responsible? I mean, people threw at me in that, after my last video, when I said God is responsible, the Creator is responsible, and people were saying, no, Ron, we are. Well, let me ask you something. I mean, this is, just something as food for thought. If we're responsible to make a better world, why do we get here handicapped? And by that, here's what I mean. We get here with amnesia. We don't remember where we've been before we got here, most of us. And even those of us that have some inkling can't be 100% sure, I don't think. I know I'm not. I have inklings. I have memories that seem to be from other lifetimes that have come to me over the course of my life. But can I prove it? No, I can't prove it. I don't know for certain. And then I look at the world that I live in, besides the fact that we all come in here handicapped as babies, and we don't remember who we are or what our purpose is, and we've got to discover it and find it. Some people seem to know from an early age. I think I did, and I know others that think they did, that they knew that they were here on a divine mission, if you will, that they had a purpose for being here. But a lot of people have no clue whatsoever what their purpose is. And then we look at the world that we live in, where they poison the air. They poison the water. They poison the land itself. They poison the food. They poison the medicines that we take. They poison the atmosphere with bombarding us with electromagnetic frequencies that are in dissonance with our natural frequencies. And they, whoever they are, Lucifer, the dragons, the royal bloodline, the Illuminati, whoever they are, they don't want people to wake up and to evolve and to become the best we can be, because that would end their slavery system. That would end their extortion racket. That would end their deception. And as the ambassador always says, they have a PhD in deception. But the whole creation on this planet has a PhD in deception. What is truth? Who is right? Where is love? Where? Where are we going to find the thing that unites us? What are we supposed to do on this planet? How is it supposed to come about? Build communities, Max Igan says. I've never seen a community last for very long. I have worked really hard. As I said in the previous video and videos a long time ago, I worked for almost 5.5 years in a spiritual community called the New Way Pod. I did everything I knew to serve that community. Before that, it was the metaphysical singles group and the metaphysical discovery group and the metaphysical community in general. That wasn't a group, but it was a collection of groups that I thought were working toward peace and working toward creating solutions for the world. But it's been infiltrated, as I said, by this ideology that the world is just an illusion and you don't get involved in politics because that's negative. And so uninvolvement, denial, avoidance becomes the spiritual practice of the people. How are you going to build a community where you've got people that don't even look around and see what the world is that we have? They have an escape clause that allows them to justify inaction. How are you going to build a community there? Are you going to be able to build it with music? As I said, Weep is part of the spiritual community. Their message is the same as in the spiritual community in a lot of their songs. I don't know that it's so much avoidance and denial and illusion, but it does talk about making decisions and looking at love, looking for love and stuff like that. Stand up for peace. That's one of their songs. Can we stand up for peace against people that don't want peace, that are running the world, that created a financial system that's total fraud, total bondage, total slavery? How are we going to do it? What are we supposed to do as human beings faced with these things? We're not supposed to look for a savior, and we think saviors are something external to ourselves, which means that we don't recognize that we're one. We don't recognize the fabric of life, that we're all cut from the same web of life, the same cosmic fabric that is the Creator's essence permeating everything. Even if it seems negative, and we say, well, they created the reality that we live in. And yes, they did. And we are part of it. And we're supposed to be blamed because they created a slavery system, because they lied to us in our religions, in our governments, in our institutions, down through the ages. It's been going on for generation after generation, going back probably 10,000 years at least. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to fix the mess? What a mess you got me into. Who was it that said that in one of the sitcoms? What a revolting development this is. Who was it that said that? That's another line that comes to me. I don't remember where they come from. I don't know how they show up in my mind when I'm giving these talks, but they seem to flow, don't they? In any case, I look at it. It was the Honeymooners. Ralph Cramden was talking to Alice, wasn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, folks, I look at the world around me. And I don't see it as something that's separate from me. I'm sorry, maybe I'm supposed to see it as separate. I don't see it as separate. I feel the pain. I feel the suffering. I feel the loneliness. But I can also see the beauty. I can also see the creativity. I can hear the music that's playing around me. I can see the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, and it's all life on in human society on planet Earth. I look at it, and I choose to see from a place of unity. I choose to see from a place of commonality. I look for common grounds. I look for the essence that's in everything, and I call that creator. And yet I also see creator as somehow transcendent to all this that I see. Creator is immanent in it all, but beyond it all also. They are not two separate things. They are two sides of the same coin, immanence and transcendence. And the one that creates anything is responsible for that which is created. Period. There's no discussion to me even needed on the subject. But people say, but Ron, we created it. Did we? How can we create a positive world in a cesspool of negativity? And some people say, well, positivity, the positive mental attitude is the way out. Is it? Most people I know that claim to have positive mental attitudes are lying to themselves. I can see their lies. They may not be able to see them because they've deluded themselves, but I can see how they're lying to themselves. They're pretending that all the stuff that they call negative doesn't exist or it's not real. And it's fake it till you make it. Well, that's bullshit. How is that truth? How does that lead us to the truth that's supposed to set us free when we're only pretending, when we're wearing masks? And we even admit that we're wearing masks. Now, do I wear masks? Yeah, sometimes I do. It's part of the culture. It's important that I recognize when I'm wearing a mask, when I'm putting on a face, if you will, when I'm presenting something that is not the whole picture, but it's a part that I want you to look at. You know, we all do that. We live in a fragmented world, and we ourselves are fragmented. The world is not separate from us, and we are not separate from it. It is interconnected. All of life is interconnected. So what are we supposed to do? Build communities? How can we build communities when we're not even in alignment with our own being? When we're at odds with ourself? And of course, then we're going to be at odds with each other. And we're going to be at odds with whatever creator is or whatever God is. So how are we supposed to fix it? How are we supposed to do it if God doesn't do it for us, in us, through us? I've been asking God, activate in me the gifts that I know are latent, the abilities that I know are there. Activate my DNA that's been switched off so that I can make a real difference and a real impact on the earth. And it's going to take strong leaders to lead us out. The ambassador has a vision. Many others have visions. I have a vision. Are we going to be able to get behind people with vision? Or are we just going to throw rocks at them and say that's an external savior? I mean, folks, give me a break. The answers are not easy to come by because of the world that we inherited. Did we create it? Maybe at some level we did. Are we aware that we created it? Hell no. Hell no. And it's only a belief system that says we created it all, because we really don't know. We don't know how we did it. If we knew how we did it, perhaps we would know how to fix it. But we don't. So I'm asking you to do what I've been doing. A lot of introspection, going inside and asking yourself, what can I do to make the world better? What can I do to improve the lot of those who suffer? Thank you for listening. Namaste.